Praise Father, Son, and Holy Ghost.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to this week's episode of The Holy Post. Jessica, you were a whole 3 seconds behind. Good afternoon, or whatever your time you're watching this, and welcome to this week's episode of The Holy
Post.
Good. Very nice.
Okay.
Good. Yeah, that's good. That's good. Very good. This week we are so blessed to have two folks who have been through our RCIA process, Sean and Jessica. And you know, RCIA, Rite of Christian Initiation of Adults, is that process that the church gives for people to become Catholic, to explore the Catholic faith. And I have to be honest with you, it would do every single one of us good, especially those who are cradle Catholics, to go through the RCIA process, because so many of us, let's be honest, many people, they stopped learning about their faith in 8th grade when they got confirmed, and they were like, done with that. And so now, though, man, there's so much to learn about our faith, and there's so much depth there, and it's so awesome. And what we've really been blessed with is a strong RCIA program that's actually starting this upcoming weekend. So on September 20th, and we have, 10, 12 people that are looking to to join the Catholic Church in this year's process, which is awesome. But the thing I think that RCIA also helps with is that it allows people to share their faith journey. And we as Catholics, we're like, don't make me share my faith journey. Ugh, I don't want to talk about that. And you guys have both done that in different bulletin articles and things, and your stories are awesome. You know, they really are. And I'm so grateful that you have shared your story and continue to. And I guess just for those folks who may have not read that in the bulletin or whatever, I'm kind of curious, just how'd you end up in RCIA? How did this all happen? You know, and now you're sitting here, faithful Catholics, and bada boom, bada bing. And we know it wasn't just a bada boom, bada bing. It was a lot. So how'd you guys get here?
You go first, or you want me to go first?
Sure. So I was raised Lutheran. It was a really strict church. It was very traditional. The Nicene Creed, the Apostles' Creed. We could not be confirmed until we knew those by heart. My entire family went there on my mom's side. So there was youth group, and there was always something missing. So in high school, I found a Pentecostal church, and I went to it, and growing up in a traditional Lutheran home, it was fun. I mean, praise and worship was awesome, and as Lutherans, we didn't really listen to Yes FM or anything like that. It was just, our hymnal that we used every week, and didn't really fit. And when I was pregnant with my daughter, my husband at the time, his whole family was Catholic, and I just kept feeling this pull, like that my daughter was going to go to Catholic school, and I went to public school, and it was a fine experience, but I felt this extreme need. And
would you call that the Holy Spirit?
I would say that was him.
Pushing,
yeah.
A little nudging, a little kick.
It definitely was. And when I got back to Toledo, after being an active duty military spouse for 12 years, I was kind of lost, and I needed a preschool for Mackenzie. And so we started St. Joe's, and from there, by the end of the year, the principal would not let me leave. He said, I don't know what we have to do to get both of your girls here, but we have to have them here by next year, and he made it happen. And then by the end of that summer, Miss Johnson in the office says, you'd be such a great fit here at the church. And the more that I started coming every Sunday, I was like, wow, what do I need to do? So literally it started, I think, the next week, and I missed my first RCIA class.
Oh. Did you have a good excuse, Jessica?
I thought I was early, actually. I thought it was the 10 a.m. mass that it was after. Turns out you do got to be here early. Yeah, 9 a.m. mass, but they feed you, so it's kind of a give take. So I walked into Maggie's office and she said, well, who's your sponsor? And I was sort of like, oh, I don't have one. So she graciously, she's like, well, I'll be your sponsor. And, you know, my face started to get all hot, like, oh no, like, what was I supposed to do? You know, I had got my baptism record and everything that I needed, and now I needed a sponsor. And she was so quick to be like, here, I'll do it. And then it turned out to be her first year as the head of RCIA also.
Awesome. Nice.
So we learned together, and our group was huge. There was like 13 of us, I think, and those people are still my friends. I mean,
That's awesome.
we came through it together. Our kids go to school together. Yeah.
That's great. That's great. Oh, thank you for sharing that.
Of course.
Mr. Kidwell, because Mr. Kidwell is supposed to be teaching right now. He's one of our teachers in the school, but he is. I think Mrs. Zabak is watching your class right now,
Just
right?
hanging out at the moment, yeah.
Nice. Well, Sean, tell us about your journey to the RCIA program.
Well, I grew up going to non-denominational Christian churches, and I've always had a love for Christ, and I always prayed, I always had faith, but I always felt like something was missing. And I've been to probably 5 different churches, and the last one was pretty good, but there was still something missing. And one of the big problems was I would hear the pastors time and time again say negative things about the Catholic faith. And fast forward a whole bunch of years, I had a stroke, and while I was in the hospital for 21 days, I had to learn how to walk again. I had a lot of moments where I was alone praying, and I heard God tell me that He wanted me to become a teacher. So I went back to school, I got my master's in education, but before I was even done, I was 6 months out from even graduating, I got an email from Mr. Nichols asking if I wanted to interview for a job. I never even applied for a job. But I had been praying, you know, Lord, where do you want me to be? I don't know what school you want me to be. Do you want me to be at an inner city school with kids that don't have money? Do you want me to be at a school where there's no male teachers? Like, where do you want me? Lord, put me where you want me to be. And here I get this offer to work at a Catholic school, and I'm like, well, this must be your will, God. This must be what you want. So I accepted the position, and after working here for 3 years, I kept saying, I should become Catholic. I should become Catholic. And I kept putting it off. I was scared of the RCIA process because I didn't know what to expect. And I don't know why. Because once I got down there, they are the most amazing people, the most welcoming, warm-hearted, awesome people ever. And the conversations that we had, their ability to answer questions so well and without placing blame on anyone was just amazing. They helped me with a sponsor as well. Toby answered some of my questions. Like, I don't know how he was so eloquent, how he was so kind.
Yeah.
You know, I'd ask really tough questions, and he would have the best answers ever. So, yeah, without any doubts, I'm 100% Catholic now.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And you know what I love is that you guys really have like jumped in. You know, I mean, you've both jumped in and are great witnesses to your own children, but also to the kids that are around our school and to our parish, which is so awesome. You know, I think some people can with RCIA kind of say, well, I don't know if I should do that now. You know, I don't know if it's time to become Catholic, or I just don't know, or what are they going to make me do? Are they going to quiz me? Are they going to test me? Are they, you know, and we don't, you know, and and you both kind of alluded to this, we meet you where you're at.
Yeah.
You know, and that's the awesome thing. God meets us where we're at, and he brings us along through the help of the RCIA team and those types of things, which is awesome. What would you say to people who might be considering becoming Catholic, or to even those who are already Catholic and are just kind of maybe a little stagnant in their faith right now? Because that happens. We sometimes get into a rut. You know, it's all of us do.
I would say that the number one thing that non-denominational pastors would say is that, you know, that we're in the end times. And in the end times, men will seek out the truth that they want to hear. Well, Jesus founded this church on Peter, the rock. All these other churches, they are the voices that you want to hear. This is the truth. Period.
Yeah. Yeah, and it doesn't mean that other churches are, bad people or whatever, but we do know historically that Jesus founded the Catholic Church. Yes, and that in its humanity, there are issues. There's going to be issues with anything that has humanity. But the Catholic Church has divinity, founded on Jesus Christ, and it's awesome. And we have that. I oftentimes look at it this way. We've got the tool belt, a full tool belt of great tools to get us to heaven, to help us to get to heaven, to participate in God's grace. And that's powerful stuff, Jessica, what about you?
I say get involved. It's the best thing that you can do for your family. It's changed how we eat dinner. We do peak pit and prayer every night.
I love that.
We learned that from American Heritage Girls. So we jumped in. The first year we did cross country, we did American Heritage Girls, we did it all. And I did Bible study. That was a lot, okay? I will say that I had trouble managing my schedule. But, into our third year here, I signed up for the Adoration Chapel for my first time. So for the next 3 Saturdays, I get to go and spend an hour with Jesus.
I love it.
And it's something that I was too nervous to do, pre-COVID and everything like that. But I'm going to go and I'm going to learn my Hail Marys. Really just get in there and be able to spend one-on-one time with him and have no other presence around. And I think that that's the one thing that you really feel in the Catholic Church that I didn't feel anywhere else. It doesn't matter if the church is full of people or if there's only 10 other people there. It feels like home.
Yeah.
And it smells really good because Father loves incense, so.
Holy smoke.
Holy
Not
smoke.
Holy Post. Holy smoke, yeah. Oh, I love incense. Always loved it. A couple of things I would just say to all of you who are watching. I know many of you who are watching are Catholic. And I just hope that these two inspire all of us, you and me, to say, boy, am I just kind of a little in my faith? Do I need a little bit of, a little oomph? Because I think sometimes we do it, and converts are the best, because they challenge all of us cradle Catholics to be like, okay, pick it up a little, and it's awesome because they went through 9 months every week, going to class, learning about the faith, all that. I mean, they put in a lot of time, effort, energy, and sacrifice, and it paid off, and it's awesome. Also, to those of you who are cradle Catholics, an invitation from you to somebody to consider joining the Catholic faith, huge. I can say it all that I want from the pulpit, and I do, but we can put it in the bulletin. But coming from you, it means a lot. And if we ever want our church to grow and more people to really encounter Jesus Christ, it takes you and I to reach out and say, hey, consider RCIA, come and join us. I'll be your sponsor. How awesome. And for those of you who are watching that maybe aren't Catholic, hey, maybe God's calling you right now to do that. And this Sunday, September 20th, right after the 9 a.m. Mass, we're doing that. And again, see Maggie Vertelbeck, reach out to me, and we will be happy to take you through the process and check it out. You might be wondering where we've been sitting. Did you know where we've been sitting?
The Mount of Beatitudes.
The Mount of Beatitudes, yes. And so the Mount of Beatitudes is where Jesus gave his Sermon on the Mount, which again, that's where a huge amount of his teaching came from, including the Beatitudes. And people listened to those words of his, and they very much, they were converted by that, and they love that, and that must mean we're supposed to go. And so we're sitting here in the Mount of Beatitudes in Israel today. Isn't that beautiful?
Yeah,
it's gorgeous.
Sunny and
and just as Jesus proclaimed his words back in the day, he's still doing it today. And he's still doing it with people like Sean and Jessica, who very much have responded to God's call. And we're so happy to have you along that journey. So thanks for being here today. And we very much appreciate that. So you're always welcome back on the Holy
Post.
There we go. Take care, everybody. God bless.